Hello, kiddos. We're back here with an episode of Smackdown. And what happened this episode of Smackdown? There's tag title defense against the Mysterios versus the Usos. It happened twice. One by a unclear shoulder up over a 3 count, and another one over a DQ over Roman Reigns. This show sucked. You have 2 false finishes. Going over absolutely nothing. Building over to Hell in a Cell when we only have 2 weeks and we don't know who the fully clear feud is for Roman Reigns after they're trying to build some dissension against the Usos. What other thing happened was nothing. I don't mind the main event scene revolving around the show. That's a given. You should always do that. Make your clear plot dominate your show so people have a reason to tune in. I get that. But, like, really? You gotta just drop the belts over for the Usos and let Roman Reigns get the DQ the next week. Like, make it episodic. Make it feel like we have to get ready for the next episode of SmackDown. We had Liv Morgan lose to Carmella with the Code of Silence. A match that I did not care about. Bianca Belair issued a challenge over Bayley with Bayley's dumbass promo like the world doesn't revolve around you, and it's gonna be in Hell in a Cell. It better not be in a goddamn Hell in a Cell match. This feud sucks. It ended with Bayley's Jay Leno ass face, looking like a crescent moon, looking like she was born punched in the face, with her goddamn face plastered everywhere around the Thunderdome. I mean, I'm trying to get some interest. That's why the review is late. Other than trying to get some software. Guys saw that clean intro I have. Gonna make that a regular occurrence in some other videos. We had, of course, the Street Profits get attacked by Otis, questioning the training with Gable, and Otis getting some misinterpreted advice from Angelo Dawkins, ending with Otis attacking him. And then we had the first serious promo from the Street Profits. The promo was so average. I know this is supposed to build over their serious side. They still say we want to smoke, and it's just oozing no emphasis in a serious factor with this lower card feud. All I know is poor Liv Morgan is gonna get released. I heard some reports. Some people were shaming her over a provocative picture she had over on IG, and it's like, why? Why can't a hot girl show? Like, I don't give a shit because I don't use IG that much anymore. But yeah, if a girl wants to show that she's attractive, you let her do it. Same thing if a guy wants to show the guy's built. He's allowed to share that. There's nothing wrong with it. What's with the contents of trying to shame girls of being sexual or attractive? There's nothing wrong with that type of stuff. Sure, it makes them feel like a narcissist depending on the person, but for certain people, they just want to send a picture. The same thing with Liv Morgan. She's an attractive girl. Why doesn't she want to do that? Screw Bo Dallas, by the way. Seth Rollins sat down backstage for an interview, refusing to answer most of the questions, removing himself from the segment after being repeatedly asking about his assault involving Cesaro. I want to seek revenge. And he keeps walking away. I don't care about this feud. The contents of the story is so stupid over he rejected my offer and he costed him title shots. That's about it. That's the contents of the feud and how that integrates around the world title and how Cesaro can't be pushed over. Is it like, who else is going to feud with Cesaro? Roman, I don't really care. Like, the main event scene is so content with so many upper mid-carders that none of these guys stand out as like a type of dude that you even picture with the world title. Unless you're a drafted neckbeard that has a subscription to What Culture. That's all I say. And then we have, of course, one of the better matches of the night. We had Apollo and Big E had Kevin Owens had a decent match. Aziz was barred from ringside, so the thing was if Apollo could win by himself without Aziz's help after their last match, that granted Kevin a title shot, was interrupted after Aziz gave him the Nigerian nail to the throat, causing it to end by DQ. And the match was alright, but that's how it is. Like, these matches are alright. Like, Kevin Owens doesn't even behave differently after being, like, a, one of one of the employees of the IC champion literally tried to cost him his career and collapse his throat. Doesn't try to grab weapons, doesn't try to get more aggressive. Cannonball Senton, Frog Splash, Enziguri. Apollo was with some offensive moves. Death Valley Driver on the ring apron to pick up the victory. Sami Zayn came with a post-match assault and Helluva kicked him in the face. Still trying to drive that feud home just to get Kevin Owens something to do. Because how, like, abundant we are to try to push a Big E as, like... And stop trying to push Big E, like... Big E is a potential star, but I haven't thought of him as a potential star since, like, probably 2014. Now he's still behaving like he's still part of the New Day. He's showing no essence over charisma, even though the guy can speak on the mic. The guy can show energy, and he can have a good match. It's just the creative ability that they have for this guy to still, like, come around doing this homoerotic, dirty whining stuff. Like, bring him back the lion on his singlet, make him act like a big dude, but let him have this enthusiastic energy. Hell, make him like he is a born Christian man and he comes around from the grind from his city. Like that's fine enough as it is. Biggie, I feel, has what it takes to be like a decent top card guy, but he's just they keep trying to restrict him. By the way, positive here in this video. The only positive in that Nakamura and Corbin match was Eric Boogs. I am now copying what he says. If you have, you know how you show charisma? You get to connect with the viewer and you get to say the same chant as you. And it's not force-fed like Miss TV. So, yeah, I like Rick Boogs. And the match was completely average. Like god-awful. It was a win off a roll-up. Just for the back and forth of this feud. And then Nakamura stole the crown over Rick Boogs. The match was completely forgettable. Just to contain this over a feud, even though Corbin was with this crown for like over a year, why now do the storyline? It's so stupid. The only positive thing is Rick Boogs' intro. That's about it. After a pep talk with Adam Pearce trying to issue off the rematch over a shoulder up, the main event was settled, and it would be a match involving the Usos and, of course, the Mysterios in a rematch. The first father-son tag team champions face off against the Usos. Trying to become, what, 7-time tag team champions? And the match was meh. Better than the opener. I would admit that. A lot of abuse over on Dominic. A lot of moves over to the ring post, super kick to cancel out a move from Ray. Everything was going average until Roman Reigns hits Rey Mysterio with a Superman punch, ending over on DQ. Jim Uso walking out with Jey Uso trying to tolerate Roman Reigns beating the shit out of Dominic and Ray, and that's how we shut off. Seems to be dissension upon the Anoa'i family. That's about it. Everything else, like even the mid-card, was complete irrelevant dog fodder, because nothing barely stands out. All we have is these decent 10 to 15-minute matches that it gets me not hooked. There's no contextual over-the-top storyline to get me like interested in any of these guys. And when they do, they get released anyway. Look at Aleister Black. Even if you push him over to get an interesting segue, the wrestlers don't make it work, even if the character is shit, and they don't make it like crazy. Like, think of somebody like Mark Calloway, Or fuck, I don't even have to push on a main eventer. Like, look at the Hurricane. People still know who the Hurricane is. It's an over-the-top, crappy superhero gimmick in the ruthless aggression era. The Hurricane could still work in the PG era. And guess what? The guy was over. His segments with The Rock are still memorable to this day. And you're telling me you still can't get anything to work with these jobbers? Like, this show is completely average at best. Better than Dynamite, though. I'll admit, in pieces, but still, like, the bare minimum of interest other than the main event scene. And we don't even know what's going to happen with Roman at a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, or who his top contender is, or the crap build going on with the rest of the mid-card. Other than that, the show is eh. That's it for me. Thanks for watching.